Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into the incredible story of November 8th, 2024, a day that shifted perspectives, brought people together, and left a lasting mark on the world. Whether you were there in the moment or are hearing about it now, this day is one that truly made history. Let's take a closer look at what happened, why it was so powerful, and how it has influenced lives everywhere. On the cusp of November 8th, a palpable sense of anticipation fills the air. It's hard to escape the feeling that something monumental is about to unfold, that the next 24 hours could profoundly shape the course of events for millions of people. As the clock ticks closer to midnight, emotions intensify, hopes and fears, excitement and trepidation all mingle in an anxious brew, waiting for the dawn of a day that promises to be anything but ordinary. Across the globe, people are glued to their screens, waiting for updates, poring over articles, news segments, and social media posts as they try to piece together what might be on the horizon. The day ahead holds mysteries, possibilities, and consequences that have been set into motion by decisions, actions, and patterns that have built up over weeks, months, or even years. But no one can quite predict exactly how it will all unfold. For some, the night is filled with planning. Conversations are happening in hushed tones among friends and family, people strategizing about the best way to approach what may be coming. Some are preparing to head into rallies or gatherings at the break of dawn, ready to make their voices heard, while others brace themselves to watch it all unfold from a distance, hoping for the best, but prepared for all outcomes. The lead-up to November 8th carries a sense of dread. The unknown is a heavy weight to bear, and the thought of what might happen tomorrow looms large, filling the quiet moments with anxiety. In the back of people's minds, they think about how their daily lives could be affected. Will their plans have to change? Will the dreams they've been working towards still hold true? The world feels charged, as though all the energy of the past is meeting the potential of the future in one concentrated moment. Around the world, different groups are counting down the hours for different reasons. For some, the day holds the promise of change, an opportunity to push for new beginnings, to witness shifts that could make history. For others, November 8th brings a fight to preserve what they hold dear, the values and ways of life that they feel are under threat. The conversations happening tonight are laden with passion, with people articulating their visions of what they hope to see happen, or what they fear could be lost. As the hours wear on, the intensity grows. People on social media share last-minute predictions, ideas, and rallying cries. It's a whirlwind of voices from all walks of life. People from small towns and bustling cities, young and old, all hoping to influence the outcome in their own way. In this connected world, each person's voice is a part of the larger, unfolding story, and there's a sense that everyone, in some way, has a stake in what happens tomorrow. As midnight arrives, the world holds its breath. November 8th has dawned, and with it, a sense of momentum that can no longer be contained. Conversations have ceased being mere whispers. They are now bold declarations. Online and offline, people are stepping into this day ready to engage, to act, to be part of something greater than themselves. There's an intensity that hangs in the air, a feeling that each hour brings with it the possibility for change, for revelation, for new beginnings or seismic shifts. The early hours of the morning bring together crowds in town squares, bustling city streets, and even in quiet neighborhoods. People gather in groups, sharing moments of anticipation, finding strength in each other's presence. In some places, the atmosphere is festive, filled with hope and optimism. In others, there is a tension, a cautious restraint, as people wait to see what direction the day will take. Some have traveled miles to be here, feeling that they cannot let this moment pass by without being present. As the day progresses, the world feels smaller, more connected. Events in one place ripple across social media, sparking conversations and reactions around the globe. News crews broadcast live updates, capturing scenes of celebration, concern, and determination. Each image, each headline, adds to the story that is unfolding, drawing people further into the drama of the day. It's not just a series of events anymore, it's history in the making, and everyone is watching, waiting to see how it all unfolds. In homes, workplaces, and schools, conversations are sparked as people discuss what this day means, not just on a grand scale, but personally. Families talk about how the outcomes of November 8th might shape their futures. Friends debate the possibilities, sometimes agreeing, sometimes disagreeing, but all with an understanding that they are part of something bigger than themselves. Even those who aren't directly involved feel the weight of the day, aware that tomorrow might bring a new set of circumstances, new challenges, or perhaps new opportunities. As the afternoon turns into evening, the energy reaches a fever pitch. People who started their day as spectators find themselves drawn in, compelled to speak up, to engage, to take a stand. Messages pour in from around the world, expressions of solidarity, hope, and resilience. The world seems to pulse in sync, united in the knowledge that what happens on this day could impact lives, economies, futures, and dreams. By nightfall, the day's impact becomes more evident. Announcements, decisions, and revelations begin to come to light, each one shifting the landscape, leaving people to process, to hope, or to brace for what's next. Some gather around televisions, others refresh their social media feeds, waiting for the next update, for any hint of what tomorrow will look like. For some, there's a feeling of triumph. For others, a sense of loss or uncertainty. But no matter the outcome, everyone knows they've been a part of a defining moment, one that will shape the stories they tell for years to come. As the clock edges closer to midnight once more, there's a sense of exhale, a realization that the day has come to a close, but the journey it has set into motion is just beginning. The world may feel different now, but the real work, the lasting impact, will unfold in the days, weeks, and months ahead. The seconds tick down to the close of November 8th, and though the day's events are now in the past, the echoes of what has happened continue to resonate. In the hours and days that follow, individuals, communities, and entire nations begin to process what this pivotal day means for their lives and futures. The conversations that began in the early morning continue late into the night, with people gathering once again in living rooms, cafes, and online forums to sift through the implications of what has occurred. Some individuals are filled with a renewed sense of purpose. For them, November 8th wasn't just a day of action or change, it was a call to arms, a reminder that the power to shape the future rests in their hands. Plans are made to keep the momentum alive, to build on the energy and direction that the day has provided. There's talk of organizing, mobilizing, and pushing forward. For these people, the day marks not an ending but a new beginning, a chance to build a world that aligns with their dreams and values. Others, however, find themselves grappling with disappointment or uncertainty. Perhaps they had pinned their hopes on an outcome that didn't materialize, or maybe they now face an unknown future that feels daunting or unpredictable. These individuals turn to one another for support, finding strength in shared resilience. They know that even though the day didn't go as they had hoped, the road ahead is still theirs to walk, and they are determined to keep going, to adapt, to find new paths forward. As the days stretch on, the impact of November 8th becomes increasingly clear. In cities and towns, in countries near and far, the ripple effects of this day touch countless lives. Policies may shift, movements may gain new strength, and leaders, both known and emerging, step up to guide their communities through the changes. Families sit down to talk about what this new reality might mean for them, for their children, for the communities they love. Dreams are reevaluated, hopes are rekindled, and for some, long-held fears begin to dissipate as they find new sources of courage. On a larger scale, the events of November 8th spark a conversation about what kind of world people want to create. Different communities and nations may be facing distinct challenges, but the common thread uniting them is a desire to build something better. As people connect across borders and cultural lines, they share stories, struggles, and solutions. There's a sense of solidarity, of a shared humanity that begins to emerge as the world moves forward from this pivotal day. People start to recognize that while they may not have control over everything, they have a voice, and they can use it. The energy of November 8th becomes more than a memory. It becomes a movement, a symbol of what's possible when people come together with conviction and purpose. Schools, organizations, and leaders draw lessons from the day, using it as a benchmark for progress and growth. The conversations sparked by November 8th continue to shape policies, inspire art, and drive innovations. Historians and storytellers recount the events of the day, adding it to the tapestry of moments that define our collective journey. In time, the intense emotions of November 8th may fade, but its legacy lives on in the people it has inspired and in the changes it has sparked. Years down the line, people will still speak of it, reflecting on how the world was different before that day, and how it has evolved since. And those who were there to witness it firsthand, who felt the electricity in the air, will remember the hope, the courage, and the sense of unity that marked this extraordinary moment in time. Ultimately, November 8th becomes more than a single day. It becomes a symbol of what can happen when individuals come together with a shared vision, willing to work through their differences, to fight for their dreams, and to push for a better tomorrow. The world may never be quite the same, but in that change lies the promise of something new, a future shaped by the hands, hearts, and minds of those who dared to believe that the next 24 hours could change everything. As the impact of November 8th continues to settle in, people begin to recognize that the day's events have ushered in a new era, one that brings both promise and responsibility. With the collective memory still fresh, communities come together, acknowledging that the decisions and actions of November 8th have forged a path that they must now walk together. A spirit of determination, of rebuilding and redefining, takes root in the hearts of millions. They realize that the journey ahead will be as complex as it is hopeful, requiring patience, resilience, and a willingness to adapt. In the days that follow, the world feels both energized and cautious. People across the globe begin taking concrete steps, however small, to align their lives with the vision inspired by that pivotal day. Leaders and thinkers emerge, drawing on the momentum of November 8th to create new initiatives, to support communities, and to foster open dialogue. They call for unity and understanding, urging people to look beyond their differences, to work together for the collective good. These new leaders remind everyone that change is not a single event, but a continual process, one that demands both commitment and collaboration. This renewed sense of purpose infuses daily life with meaning. Neighborhood meetings, town hall gatherings, and online forums brim with ideas, as people share not only their dreams, but also their plans for bringing those dreams to life. Some turn to activism, inspired by the feeling that they have a stake in the world around them. Others work quietly, making changes in their own lives, knowing that transformation often begins with small acts. Across different walks of life, there is a sense of responsibility, a recognition that each person's actions contribute to a greater whole. At the same time, this era brings its challenges. Change, even when inspired by hope, is rarely simple or easy. There are moments of disagreement, as people with diverse perspectives navigate the complexities of building a shared future. Old patterns and entrenched beliefs don't vanish overnight, and conflicts emerge as people grapple with what this new reality should look like. But even in these difficult moments, there's a growing awareness that these conversations, however challenging, are necessary. The memory of November 8th reminds everyone of the stakes, of the importance of pushing through discomfort to create something meaningful and lasting. Meanwhile, the world watches as the seeds planted on November 8th begin to bear fruit. Across the media, stories emerge of people making a difference, of communities transformed, of systems reimagined. Artists, writers, and musicians capture the spirit of the moment, using their work to reflect the hopes and struggles of this new era. They create songs, paintings, and novels that tell the story of a world in transition, of a society that dared to dream and to act. These creative works become part of the cultural landscape, reminding future generations of the journey that began on that historic day. As the years pass, the legacy of November 8th continues to unfold, shaping lives in ways both profound and subtle. People still gather on anniversaries to celebrate, to reflect, and to renew their commitment to the ideals that emerged from that day. Children grow up hearing stories of November 8th, learning about the courage and hope that their parents, grandparents, and neighbors carried forward. For them, the date becomes more than just history. It becomes a source of inspiration, a reminder that they, too, have a role to play in shaping the world. November 8th becomes a testament to what humanity can achieve when people come together with purpose, when they're willing to dream beyond the limitations of the present. It serves as a reminder that change is possible, that hope is resilient, and that even in times of uncertainty, individuals and communities have the power to create a better future. Though the day itself may be in the past, its spirit endures, echoing through generations as a reminder that the most important moments in history are not just defined by what happens, but by how people choose to respond, to carry forward, and to believe in the possibilities of tomorrow. Years have now passed since November 8th, and yet the spirit of that day lives on, woven into the lives of all those who felt its impact. The stories that emerged from that pivotal day are passed down, spoken in classrooms and family gatherings, immortalized in literature and art. Children grow up knowing that November 8th was not just a date, but a turning point, a day when ordinary people realized their own extraordinary potential. For them, it's a lesson in courage, resilience, and the power of unity, a beacon that guides them as they imagine the future. In communities worldwide, new traditions are born to honor the legacy of November 8th. People come together to celebrate acts of kindness, resilience, and collaboration. Festivals and gatherings mark the date, with people sharing stories of what they've achieved and how they've continued the work that began that day. They commemorate not just the events, but the spirit of possibility, reminding themselves of the progress made and the challenges still to be faced. They know that change is not an endpoint. It is a journey that requires continued commitment and hope. The spirit of that day has also shifted how people see one another. Strangers find common ground in their shared experiences, realizing that the things that unite them are stronger than those that divide. Communities that once felt fractured are now closer, having gone through the fires of transformation together. People have grown into a new sense of responsibility, not only for themselves, but for each other. Compassion and empathy are no longer just ideals. They are practices, part of the social fabric, woven into the way people interact and support one another. On a global scale, the world continues to feel the ripple effects of November 8th. Institutions adapt, learning from the collective voice that was raised that day, and they seek ways to reflect the values people fought for. Leaders are held accountable in new ways, with citizens now more engaged and more vigilant, empowered by the understanding that they have a voice and that their voices matter. Policymakers and innovators push boundaries, asking how systems can be reimagined to serve everyone, not just a few. These changes are not immediate, but they are steady, a testament to the unbreakable will of a global community that came together with a shared vision. In quieter moments, individuals reflect on how far they have come. Those who were young when November 8th took place have grown up in a world shaped by its influence, carrying its ideals forward in their own lives. They feel a sense of gratitude for the generation that dared to believe in something greater. And they wonder how they, too, can contribute to the legacy of hope and courage that began on that day. They understand that November 8th was not just about a single moment in time. It was a commitment to a shared future, a promise passed down from one generation to the next. And so, the legacy of November 8th lives on, an unbroken chain of hope and resilience. It's a reminder that history is not only made by leaders or events, but by everyday people who choose to stand up for what they believe in. It's a story that speaks to the strength of the human spirit, the boundless possibilities that emerge when people come together with a shared purpose. As the years stretch into decades, November 8th is celebrated not only as a day of change, but as a testament to humanity's enduring capacity for compassion, courage, and connection. Generations into the future, children will continue to ask about November 8th, and they will be told of the day when people around the world chose to rise together. They'll learn that on that day, a spark of hope ignited a flame that would continue to burn brightly, lighting the path forward for all who came after. They'll understand that November 8th wasn't just a moment in history. It was a promise that they, too, have the power to shape the world, to dream boldly, and to make those dreams a reality. In this way, November 8th becomes more than just a memory. It becomes a living legacy, an unending story, a reminder that even in the face of uncertainty, humanity has the power to change, to grow, and to create a future that reflects the highest hopes and aspirations of all. Thanks for watching. November 8th wasn't just a day. It was a reminder of what's possible when people unite for a shared purpose. If this video inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that highlight the strength and resilience of people around the world. And remember, every small act counts in building the future we all believe in. See you next time.